Well, first we have our salmon fillet here. And then what I like to use is some Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard. It's got a really great flavor. Goes on the meat very well, or on the fillet. And then the two spices that I mix in with that is turmeric and ground ginger. Also both easy on the stomach. Out of this whole scenario, the only thing that's not going to be as stomach easy is going to be the honey mustard. But you will find that it's not too bad if you mix it up properly and eat in proper portions. Alright, so one of the first things I do is get the baking pan all set up. It's just a regular cookie sheet. Take some aluminum foil. We're going to cover that. Alright, I'm just gonna, and by the way, not that I have it on camera, but always good idea to, if you're not gonna wash your hands first while handling salmon and or any other fish, either wear some gloves or just wash your hands. I just wash my hands. Okay, so we got our pan, that's all set. That'll be ready. We're going to put the fish fillet skin side down, and we are not going to coat this with anything. You can if you want to. We prefer not to eat the skin. So what we're doing here is, by not putting any prep on the aluminum foil, the skin will actually stick to it. And so when you cook it right, at the right temperature, when it's ready to go, you'll be able to slide the spatula right between the meat and the skin and peel it up real nice. Alright, so we're going to grab a bowl here. Again, we've got our ingredients. And we're going to mix this up. I don't actually have a perfected measurement that I use. I do it by sight. I kind of know how much is needed by the size of the fillet. What we're dealing with today, our fillet size, I peeled the sticker off. But it's just under a 2-pound slab, which is a good sized hunk of salmon. So let's go ahead and get our honey mustard into the bowl here. Alright. I'm going to need more than that. Okay, right about there should be enough to cover the whole fillet. Make sure you guys can see that okay. And now the first thing I like to put in, because of its how dark it is the turmeric. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. Again, to sight, but I don't really have a measurement, but that's about all I put in. If you can see that. That's about all I use for that size of a fillet. And now the ginger, which is real good for your digestive tract, and it's a good flavor too. Alright, looks like I gotta make a run out to the store and get some more of all of this. Alright, so that's what it looks like before I mix it all up. Now I just take a regular, I don't even know what you'd call it. It almost looks like a paintbrush, but it's for food. And I mix it up until it's all evenly spread in there. It'll turn like a nice brownish color. You'll see here in a second. And the lighting in here is pretty poor, so I apologize ahead of time for that. And make sure you kind of move it around and get real underneath everything here, otherwise it won't blend up properly for you. Alright, I don't know how that looks on camera, but that's all blended up nicely now. So we're gonna move this out of the way. We're gonna bring the fish back over. down our pan. And go ahead and run a knife through the cellophane here, and there we go. Alright. Go ahead and pull our slab out. Oh, you know what? This slab does not even have, it is skinless. So, that changes things. I didn't know it was skinless, so now I'm going to put a layer of olive oil down on the pan so it does not stick, because we don't want it to now. So what I'm going to do is just spray on a little bit of some olive oil spray. And it's not going to hurt the flavor at all whatsoever. In fact, it might enhance it a little. Alright, so this is a big old slab. Let's lay that in there nicely. And then we're going to get that out to the garbage almost immediately. Nobody likes a fishy smelling house. Gonna rinse my hands off again since I've been handling the fish. Alright, and just a side note, the reason this all came about and the reason I'm doing this video is I've been making this recipe for about 6 or so months now, and I've been struggling with my stomach issues for about a year and a half or so, and really have been through a bunch of procedures to figure out what was going on. Essentially, aside from GERD, the acid reflux, I've got some intestinal and stomach ulcers, which have prompted a huge dietary change in me. So that's why I've had to turn to some meals that I wouldn't always eat in the past, but I've changed a lot of my dietary habits and exercise and everything so that I can feel better, and I'm hoping just to pass along where I'm at so that other people going through the same thing could have some help, even if it's just a little cooking meal. Okay, so now I'm just going to spread this mixture across the meat, across the fillet, and then once I have that all on here, I'm just going to spread it out with the brush here. And I'd imagine it's kind of just like anybody doing some barbecue. Only this is not barbecue. This is just some fillet of salmon here. And again, you want enough to just to coat it, and if it's a little too thick, it's not going to be an issue. And you'll see when it comes out of the oven, it just has a beautiful color and texture to it. And the taste, and again, this is my opinion, is phenomenal. I've tried other honey mustards, but Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard is by far the best I've ever had. Props to them. Okay, we're almost done here. I like to make sure that you get every bit of it. And the other thing, if I wasn't doing a video, the other thing I like to do is marinate this. I will put this in a cellophane wrap over top and let it sit in, if not overnight, at least for about half hour, 45 minutes before I cook it. Really gives the flavor throughout the meat, because what it does is it lets it permeate into it. Now what I'm going to do, because of the size of this slab, normally I have a cook time of about 30 minutes, but this is almost an inch and a quarter thick at its thickest point, and I'm thinking because of that I'm gonna have to bump up the length of time that it's cooking for. So I'm gonna put it in and check it at around 35 to 40 minutes. I preheat the oven to about 400 degrees, and like I said, this slab, because of how thick and large it is, about 35-40 minutes should be perfect without an issue. But you don't want to go too far, too long, because then you will dry out the meat, and well, frankly, it's not real good when it's dried out. You want it to still be moist, but it needs to be flaky as well. So, okay, I'm going to cut the camera for now. We're going to cook it, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Alright, so this is what it looks like when it's all said and done. Got a nice rich coloring. The honey mustard, along with the mixture, kind of caramelizes into this wonderful looking, like I said, just like a caramelization. And the fish is phenomenal. It tastes so good. So anyways, this has been my video on how to make either steelhead or salmon. And it is a stomach easy menu item. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope I've been able to help someone along the way. Take care.